Ho, 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 ho. This is Mari from Stockholm. I would like to tell something about the sign of the cross. I'm not a churchgoer, but I've seen a hovering light cross when I was doing yoga. That happened after I found the book Ask Your Angels. And I was doing yoga standing on one leg. You know, I had been standing for maybe 20 minutes and I fell in trance. And suddenly I could see the cross hovering in air. It has nothing to do with alcohol, drugs, or nothing else like that. That was just by doing yoga. And I actually got scared because I thought, now somebody has died. But nothing like that happened. It took almost 20 years before I understood what it meant. Yeah, but I think there is still more to discover. But the thing is that we have the cross inside us. It is the structure, the light structure between Earth and the galactic center, and much more, obviously. But that is the channel. And also, you could say it's a symbol between our brain hemispheres. You know, the inner male, the inner woman, the alchemical wedding. Yeah. And also, some say it's the sign of the teacher of this world, Maitreya, who was, some say, the teacher of Jesus. Nevertheless, these are great big things, so you can just choose whatever you want. But I would like to tell some things, because I have been practicing prayer even though I'm not a churchgoer. It gave me strength as a child because I experienced some emotional neglect as a child. That's for sure. But the prayer my grandmother taught me gave me strength, and I experienced some wild stuff when I was doing long prayers. Really, I felt like I left my body. And as an exchange student later on, 83, I experienced that I left my body. I could see myself sleeping. And my first boyfriend, I was very much in love with him. I said to him, I will come to you in a dream from America to Finland. And I have been at his place even, yesterday I think. I wonder if he feels anything. Okie doke, what was there? Yes, I had a dream. Oh, many years ago, maybe 20 years ago. I had, I get messages, spiritual messages in many, many ways. But this was in a dream. Very clear message that you can bless all matter. And since I'm not a churchgoer, I was thinking, whatever, blessing. I've had some troubles with the words blessing and prayer, because it was not so hot to use those words, verbs. When I was younger, I thought it's for sissies. But anyways, I had this dream and I got the message, you can bless all matter. So I thought later on, well, let's try it. What happens? I contacted one scientist in Finland. I live in Sweden, and I contacted this Matti Ollila. He was a scientist who was specialized in Kirlian camera. With that camera you can photograph the human energy field aura, and from plants and animals too, and maybe much more, I don't even know. But I paid him quite a lot of money, and we made these tests that I was praying, like sending energy to a glass of water, which was in Helsinki. So it's a great distance between Sweden, Stockholm and Helsinki. And this scientist had been studying the water, photographing it before and after, and he was very, very amazed. After the experiments, I talked with him over the phone, and he said, "Who the hell did you call?" And I said, "An angel." And he said, "Well, that will explain everything, because the water was charged with golden energy." So it is. And the golden energy has also appeared in my aura camera pictures. I know people think, oh, aura camera, it's nothing. Well, whatever, but it has appeared there too. I have several pictures. And as you know, I have been making tests with Dr. Thornton Streeter with distant healing within Stockholm, 2006. And he could photograph the energy with polycontrast interference photography, PIP. He was very, very amazed that he could see it around the test person's aura and within the body. And then we made another test with him 2009, his group study colleagues in India. I sent energy to 5 people, and I made the pendulum diagnosis of those people over their complaints. And I was speaking with Thornton, and he said, "Oh my God, you have enormous psychic abilities. You were right about the diagnosis." But that I do not have on paper. But I have the other results. They were amazing. And I can say, I cannot cure people, because very much of the curing of the people has to happen by curing of the mind. And that's only the person itself can do that. Because if you are constantly very negative and you create negative thought forms, you will never get well. So you have to change thinking first. But many healers can affect the energy bodies. That's very, very important. Obviously, I can remove negative thought forms for the time being, but they will appear again if the person who is sick generates new thought forms. You see, it's like pooping all the time in your aura. You poop into your aura. Poopy. So that's why, like myself, I have damaged spine. I have to do energy clearings for myself every day. And I do many times a day sometimes. Being in a stressful situation, or if there's something like a lot of radiation, being in the city or in a shopping mall, I always have to do maybe 2-3 times energy clearing when I come home. So the environment for living on this planet has been it has turned sour. It's bad. That's why I want to leave this planet ASAP, as soon as possible. Okay, I would like to read one Russian scientific test or article about it. Obviously it has not all the details, but it can be inspiring for some people. And as I would like to remind you that the sign of the cross, it doesn't in my world, it doesn't have to be, like the Orthodox cross, but that's from Russia, so that's what they're selling. But I know from my studies, spiritual studies over 40 years, that the cross is within us. It is the earth cosmos channel, or some call it Buddhistic channel. It is like the connection between matter and God, Goddess, all that is, or matter and the galactic center. That is also called the supportive mirror of the galactic entity, a great consciousness. Right, now I will read the article. I found it on internet for many years ago, and the website was interfax-religion.com. Okay. 2006. The sign of the cross and Orthodox prayer are capable of killing microbes and change the optical properties of water. A study. Moscow, March 17th, 2006. Interfax. Scientists have proved experimentally the miracle working properties of the sign of the cross and prayer. We have ascertained that the old custom to make a sign of the cross over food and drink before a meal has a profound mystical meaning. Standing behind it, it is the practical use. The food is purified literally in an instant. This is a great miracle which happens literally every day. Physicist Angelina Malakovskaya said, as cited by the Zin newspaper on Friday. I will put in the info box how this newspaper has been spelled. Malakovskaya have studied the power of the sign of the cross with the blessing of the Church for nearly 10 years now. She has carried out a great number of experiments which have been repeatedly verified before their results were made public. She has discovered the unique bactericidal properties of water after being blessed by an Orthodox prayer and a sign of the cross. The study also revealed a new, earlier unknown property of the Word of God to transform the structure of water, increasing considerably its optical density in the short, ultraviolet spectral region, the newspaper writes. I'll read it again. Increasing considerably its optical density in the short ultraviolet spectral region. The scientists have verified the impact of the Lord's Prayer and the Orthodox sign of the cross make a pathogenic bacteria. Water samples from various reservoirs, wells, rivers, lakes, were taken for the research. All the samples had Staphylococcus or colon bacillus. A colon bacillus. Yikes. It turned out, however, that if the Lord's Prayer is said and a sign of the cross is made over them, the number of the harmful bacteria will decrease 7, 10, 100 and even over 1,000 times. The experiments were made in such a way as to exclude a possible impact of mental suggestion. The prayer was said by both believer and non-believers, but the number of pathogenic bacteria in various environments with different sets of bacteria still decreased as compared to the reference templates. The scientists have also proved the beneficial impact that the prayer and the sign of the cross have on people. All the participants in the tests had their blood pressure stabilized and blood indexes improved. Strikingly, the indexes changed towards the healing needed. Hypertensive people had their blood pressure raised, while hypertensive people had it reduced. So, what do you think? I just wanted to tell you these things because just in case if our modern society will collapse, the internet doesn't work and you need some services, maybe from doctors and other people need help, maybe you can also use the prayer. You know, prayer has some very, very amazing effects. Like, if I pray and I become quiet after the prayer and I just sit with my eyes closed, I can receive information or, some inspiration of what is the next step to take. It's a subtle information, inspiration. Then I suddenly know, okay, I will do it like this. Because that's the best internet, the spiritual internet. When your auric field is cleared, you have a connection with God, Goddess, all that is. Or you don't even have to use the word God in that sense. You can just visualize the field of light, the ethereal light, like the cross of light. I would like to inspire you to experiment with the power of mind. It can penetrate both time and space. That's also why we can connect with higher intelligences in the universe. The field. Some say God, Goddess is a field. Okay, have a nice day. I will have a cup of coffee. Bye now. I will bless my coffee. Bye.